Hi, everybody. Thank you all for joining us today and welcome to our first webinar of 2021. Hope everyone's year is off to a great start. My name is Eric Buo and I am a Senior Client Development Manager here at CJ Affiliate and I will be hosting today's webinar. A few quick notes on the webinar format before we kick things off. So today's webinar will be about 30 minutes. We will also be sharing a recording of the webinar in a follow-up email later today, so you can go back and rewatch anything you want to review further. Please submit any questions you have through the GoToWebinar interface. We will respond to all questions after the webinar is completed. It might take up to 48 hours, but do not worry. We will get back to you and everyone will get their questions answered. As usual, there will be a post-webinar survey that appears within the GoToWebinar interface as soon as the presentation is complete. Please stay on and take 2 minutes to reply to the survey. Tell us anything we can do to make these webinars even more helpful for you next time around. Whether it's good, bad, we take the time to review all feedback with the entire webinar team, and we actively use your feedback to plan our future content. Again, the survey will appear in the interface, so please stay on after the presentation is finished. It really should only take a couple of minutes, and we really appreciate it. And with that, let's do this, shall we? As the title suggests, the goal of today's webinar is to help you identify areas that you can improve and innovate in your program. Whether that means identifying areas for further growth, improving your return on investment, or just finding some good all-time savings. If you have attended our webinars in the past, I do want to emphasize that today's webinar will be a little different. Our webinars usually focus on deep diving into a specific topic and giving you full details for how to master that topic. In today's webinar, we will take a more high-level look at your entire affiliate program. This means that we won't be able to deep dive into exactly how to execute on each and every topic that we cover. But don't worry, we will still provide you with detailed resources on everything, and you can already find that in the handout section at the top left-hand corner of your screen. And if you prefer the old format where we focus on one topic, then don't worry. We have a stacked webinar schedule this year, and we'll be covering all the different topics that we have received past feedback on. So again, please tell us what you think in the post-webinar survey. So how are we going to help you review your entire affiliate program? Well, I will be going through areas where CJ frequently identifies room for improvement when reviewing advertiser programs. To help you follow along, we have provided you with a checklist that you can find in the handout section right now. Again, that's in the top left-hand corner of your screen. As we are going through the presentation, you can use this checklist to note whether the topic we are covering is something that you are already doing, or if this is an opportunity area for your program. Of course, not everything I cover will be relevant to your program, but if you follow along using the checklist, then at the end of the webinar, you should have a very good overview of exactly which areas you can focus on improving for your program. This will be a good guide for how to get the most out of your affiliate program this year. And to clarify, there are two handouts. One is the checklist, which I highly recommend you download right now to use to follow along. And the second is the resources document, where we'll link to in-depth resources for each topic, as well as a copy of the webinar deck. I recommend downloading that as well, but it is really extensive, so don't let it distract you from the webinar itself. Maybe wait with reviewing that until the webinar is over and you have your checklist and you know which areas you want to dive into. I'll take a quick pause here before diving into the first opportunity area so everyone has a chance to download the checklist. And again, it's in the top left-hand corner of the GoToWebinar interface. Okay, so let us get going again. First up, I'll be going through how you can maximize your affiliate opportunity. By maximizing your affiliate opportunity, we mean affiliate opportunities outside of your current program setup. Pretty much making sure your affiliate program is set up to promote and track anything that drives value for your business. For most advertisers, depending on your business model, you will likely have a sale or a lead action that is your primary value driver. But this action likely isn't the only value driver for your business, and it doesn't have to be the only value driver for your affiliate program. To give you some examples, if you are primarily a sales program, are there any types of leads that drive value for your business? It could be as simple as signing up for your email list. If you're primarily a lead program, maybe you also sell some type of merchandise and there's a sales action that you can also promote. If you have an app, are you tracking app downloads or tracking in-app sales or both? These are just some examples to give you an idea of what we're talking about here. And for your business, it might be something completely different. The benefit of including additional value drivers in your program is twofold. On one end, publishers will promote them for you. It'll also give you a better overview of the full impact of your affiliate program. And since it's an additional incentive for publishers, your overall program will be more attractive, which can lead to program growth for all your actions, your entire program. And if you're already tracking some of these things, do your publishers know that? Are you encouraging them to call that out as part of them promoting your brand? Do you have affiliate links available that focus on your alternative value drivers? How you integrate these things will depend on your goals and current integration. So to get the conversation started, we recommend submitting a ticket in the support center, and our team will advise on next steps. And moving over to a recent e-commerce trend, and this probably isn't news to anyone in this webinar, but buy online, pick up in store, and curbside pickup have seen tremendous growth over the last year, with over 20% of digital buyers now utilizing both options. If driving sales to brick and mortar locations is of value to your brand, then your affiliate program has the potential to be a major contributor. As long as the transaction takes place online, this also needs no deeper integration. All you have to do is make sure your publishers are aware and give them the creative they may need. Have you sent a newsletter letting your publisher know this is a focus for your program? If not, I highly recommend doing so. Beyond orders where the sale transaction takes place online, CJ also offers solutions for tracking site to store, where customers click an affiliate link online and we can correlate that sale to an in-store purchase through custom coupons. We have provided in-depth details in the handout resources. There are some requirements to get this going, so if you are interested, reach out to your CJ contact or through the support center so we can get the conversation started. Of course, we can't talk about maximizing your affiliate program without getting into publisher opportunities. As a heads up, we're going to talk about general recruitment in a later section, but for this portion, our focus is on the types of publisher opportunities that you probably are not even thinking about, what we often refer to as non-traditional publisher opportunities. To set the stage, it's important to understand that at its core, CJ provides a tracking and commissioning solution, and within that, you can really do any type of digital marketing. Within the CJ network, you will find partners who can run search, email, or display campaigns for you. There are also what we call shopping cart abandonment partners who specialize in increasing conversion rate. There are even freight forwarding publishers who can help you expand globally without you needing to worry about the shipping component. The benefit of running these partnerships through affiliate is that you only pay for conversions, so you have a guaranteed ROI. If the campaign doesn't perform, then you are not paying, which also means it's risk-free to test. If you're a smaller business, your affiliate program can be a super effective way to work with partners who are experts in a digital channel you may not have the resources to run internally. If you already have internal teams running campaigns in these other channels, I also want to emphasize that these publishers are experts in running campaigns that are complementary and incremental to what your in-house teams are already doing. To help you get you kick-started with these types of opportunities, our publisher development team has been kind enough to put together an extensive Rolodex with a variety of non-traditional publisher opportunities for you to consider. You'll find that linked in the handout resource document. There are some excellent opportunities in there, so I highly recommend flipping through that. I also wanted to call out two specific non-traditional publisher types. First off, I briefly mentioned shopping cart abandonment publishers earlier, and to give you an idea of the opportunity we are talking about with these types of publishers, through our network data, we see that when a conversion optimization partner is successful with as little as 1% of visitors, then that leads to a 21% increase in total e-commerce revenue. And on the search front, here is a good case study of the success of the advertiser life extension saw. By working with two paid search partners through CJ, they saw an almost 600% year-over-year lift in affiliate revenue. Taking these numbers into consideration, it's pretty clear that non-traditional partners is something every advertiser should consider and probably test for their program. Moving into our second area for innovating your program this year, and that is continuous recruitment. If you attended our webinars in the past, there's a high chance you've already seen this slide, and the reason for that is simple. The number one contributor to long-term affiliate success is continued recruitment efforts. Our network data shows that at the end of a 5-year growth plan, newly recruited publishers will represent 60% of program revenue. Most advertisers recruit here and there, but is recruiting new partners an ongoing process that you do on a regular basis? If not, we highly recommend you make it a habit. As a network, we are following our own advice by continuously working to bring new publishers into the network. There's absolutely no shortage of high-quality publisher opportunities being brought into CJ on a regular basis. Which brings up another reason why it's so important that you make recruiting an ongoing habit. If you ran a recruitment campaign a couple of months ago, there's already a significant number of new opportunities that were not in the network last time around. To use a cheesy analogy, think of it like fishing. You're not going to catch that record-breaking fish every time you go, but every now and then you'll land a big one. And along the way, you'll be catching plenty of smaller opportunities to keep your program well fed. More importantly, you'll never find that big partner for a program if you're not out fishing for it. And to help you along with your recruitment efforts, we recently launched a brand new recruitment solution. To get to this platform, simply navigate to the Publishers Recruit Partners page of the CJ Account Manager. The new recruitment interface combines intelligent keyword search functionality with useful filters like geographic location and network performance so you can find the best publishers faster. If you haven't already checked this tool out, then I would recommend putting that at the top of your list after this webinar. While already an excellent recruitment solution, the Recruit Partners page is also a work in progress and will only continue to get better. Here are some of the things you can expect to see in the near future. There will be an option to save publishers you find so you can come back and review them later. Our internal publisher team will be hand selecting up and coming publishers in the network. Think of this like a CJ staff picks feature. So those are publishers you will most definitely want to check out. And we'll also be adding third-party metrics such as social media and Google Analytics stats to give you a better idea of the publisher's reach. I think this will be particularly helpful when you're reviewing publishers that are newer and might not already have built up network earnings in CJ, but seeing those third-party stats will help you really review them and understand what value they can drive for you. The third-party metrics I just mentioned are actually enabled by our recent partnership with Creator IQ, which is an award-winning influencer platform. And beyond the insights that will be available on the Recruit page, Creator IQ is also leveraged by our internal content team for the custom influencer campaigns they offer. There's an article in the resources handout that gives in-depth details on what that entails, and we'll also be doing a full content-focused webinar later this year, where you'll get to see more of this in action and how you can work with our content team to take advantage of this for your program. Lastly, on the continuous recruitment topic, I also wanted to call out that you are not alone in CJ. There are many teams behind the scenes that are working hard to bring you the best opportunities. One of the ways we try to help you with your recruitment efforts is to send weekly publisher opportunities every Friday. This newsletter always includes a diverse range of publishers, from brand new opportunities, up-and-comers, as well as rate cards and placement opportunities from the most established affiliates in the network. Again, you should receive this every Friday, so make sure to check that out tomorrow. In the case that you're not receiving this newsletter already, that likely means you need to opt in to receive our publisher opportunity communication. Luckily, that is super easy to do. Just navigate to the account users page of the CJ Account Manager and click on the pencil icon next to your name. Beyond the publisher opportunity newsletter, we make sure any communication we send is focused on helping you grow your program and making your life easier as an affiliate manager. So I highly recommend opting into everything. We certainly can't help you if we can't reach you. And this brings us to our third area where you can innovate your program this year, and that is by optimizing your investment. As already mentioned, one of the major benefits of affiliate is that it's a pay for performance channel where you can see a guaranteed return on investment. However, a guaranteed ROI does not equate to a set it and forget it situation. To be successful, you still need to actively manage your investment, and in CJ, you control your investment through your program terms. At a high level, there are three main factors to consider when developing your program terms. First is optimal revenue. You should be paying publishers according to the value you see in return. Your internal margins are important considerations here, as well as your business goals. If you have lofty revenue goals, then you'll likely want to be very aggressive in your commissioning strategy. Secondly, you must consider the competitive component. Top publishers are in high demand, and if you're not offering competitive commission rates, then they'll promote someone else. Publishers will often cover a broad variety of topics, so you're not just competing against your direct competitors, but really any advertiser that is interested in working with similar types of publishers. We recommend keeping an open dialogue with your publishers about commission rates. If you don't know where you need to set commissions to be competitive, then just ask your publishers. Tell them your goals and ask how they can help you reach them. Lastly, you should aim to create program stability through your program terms. While the main focus here is on your commissioning, keep in mind that program terms are more than just what you pay publishers. It is also where you inform them of any program restrictions. We recommend creating a default term where you leave room for increases for publishers when it makes sense. On the flip side, commission decreases can have a negative effect on your publisher relationships, so keep publishers that you don't necessarily work too closely with at a commission level you feel good about for the long term, so you know you're not going to have to decrease their commission in the near future. And just to quickly summarize here, your investment strategy should involve several program terms with different rates for different types of publishers. Make sure you're staying ahead of the competition by really incentivizing your most valuable partners. And here's a good overview of some of the features that you'll want to incorporate to optimize your program terms, such as offering content publishers a higher commission through content certification, or uploading item lists with your lower margin items to ensure you're not over commissioning on those. Your program terms don't need to include everything you see here, but incorporating the pieces that make sense for your goals. Another important aspect of program terms is that they should evolve along with your business goals. Too often, I chat with advertisers about how to optimize their program, and it turns out they haven't looked at their program terms in several years. Make sure you review your program terms on a regular cadence, I would say at least annually. And moving beyond the traditional tools available to optimize your investment, with the introduction of enhanced vertical integrations within CJ, you can take value-based compensation to the next level. In very short terms, an enhanced vertical integration means passing CJ additional information about each transaction. Information that is important for you in determining the true value of that transaction. We'll get into exactly what that looks like on the subsequent slides, but at the most basic level, this type of integration will give you increased visibility into the value each publisher drives for your program. Once you have added visibility, you'll see which partners are driving your most desired customers, and you can adjust your investment accordingly. On the other end of the spectrum, at the highest level, enhanced vertical integrations can be incorporated directly into your program terms and commissioning strategy through what we call situational commissioning. To back up a little, you may be wondering exactly what is enhanced vertical integration again. So with enhanced vertical integrations within CJ, you can pass more data surrounding the customer, the promo and campaign, or the product payment with each conversion. There are, of course, different attributes and opportunities for analysis across different verticals. So we've customized the recommendations across finance, travel, retail, and network services. And while that might sound great to you at a high level, I'm sure you may still be wondering exactly what that means for your program. Well, on this slide, you can see examples of exactly what we're talking about here. These are the types of parameters that this integration allows you to pass. And as mentioned, passing these parameters will not only allow you to report on them, it will also allow you to commission on them through situational commissioning. So again, what does situational commissioning really allow you to do? Well, we talked about how individual publishers should be commissioned according to the value they drive. With situational commissionings, you take that even further by commissioning on the value you see at the individual transaction level. To give you some quick examples, this could be commissioning differently based on new or existing customer, publisher website, or whether or not a coupon was used. This type of investment strategy not only makes your program more efficient, it also helps your publishers create a strategy to increase conversions with your most valuable customers. That said, it's important to not overcomplicate it. I recommend focusing on a couple of parameters that matter the most to your business. If you create program terms that are too complicated with countless situations, that may confuse publishers and can become counterproductive. Again, the key is to communicate with your publishers on what your goals are and how they can help you achieve those. Lastly, I just want to say I realize this is a lot of technical information that I've gone through pretty quickly. So I want to re-emphasize that the goal of this webinar is to make you aware of the opportunity. I don't expect you to understand or know everything about situational commissioning here. So as a next step, I highly recommend checking out the very detailed documentation in the handout resource. And of course, reach out to us with any questions. So I talked about the increased visibility that the enhanced vertical integration will give you. And to give you an idea of the type of insights you can gather, I just wanted to quickly show you a few snapshots of our new customer analysis reporting that is already available within the Insights reporting interface if you pass us the customer recency parameter. As you'll see here, you'll get access to revenue and AOV analysis on both a program and partner level that will help you make even better investment decisions moving forward. And I'll end the optimize your investment section with another compelling case study here. So this case study is for an online travel agency that wanted to drive more revenue. But with a lot of pressure on their margins already, there was limited room for increased investment. They therefore needed to think outside the box and find innovative ways to grow their program. The solution turned out to be situational commissioning. They were passing payment method as a parameter in their enhanced vertical integration and ended up partnering with a payment processor to incentivize customers who choose that payment solution through increased cashback with their loyalty partners. The payment processors provided the increased investment, and the campaign was a huge success. Customers received a great deal in payment experience, publishers saw increased commissions, the travel agency increased their bookings by 70%, and the payment processor sees an 11 times increase in usage of their payment solution. That's what you call a win all around. And then shifting gears a little bit here and moving into our next section, which is program health monitoring. Now, this might not sound as exciting of a topic as what we just covered, but I would argue that it's certainly just as important. At the core of program health monitoring is simply keeping an eye on your transactions to ensure everything is as it should. You should be doing this regularly by reviewing both your program performance reporting and transaction reports. There are a few reasons why this is important. The biggest reasons is simply to identify any tracking related issues before they become a problem. Secondly, you will notice which publishers are growing, which are declining, and then you can communicate with them accordingly and immediately to either take advantage of the growth or try to turn the negative trend around. Lastly, as with any digital channel, there's a risk of non-compliant behavior. We strongly recommend you review your transaction at least once every locking cycle If you're not already doing this, then set yourself a calendar reminder as soon as this webinar is over to do it within the next week, and then try to set one monthly moving forward. The more often you do this and the more familiar you are with your program, the quicker and easier it gets. And once you start doing this on a regular basis, you'll notice anomalies right away. Another important aspect of program health monitoring is to only commission on fulfilled and completed conversions. Again, going back to the principle that you should be commissioning according to the value you see in return. You do this, or ensure you do this, by correcting any orders that may have been canceled, declined, returned, or for any other reason was not fulfilled. Keep in mind that CJ has no visibility into what happens to a transaction after the initial conversion, and it's your responsibility to make sure corrections are processed in a timely manner. I mentioned earlier that the third reason it's important to monitor your program health is to identify any non-compliant activity. So you may be asking yourself, what do you do if you suspect non-compliant activity? Well, our network quality team is standing by to help. So all you really have to do is report them, which is quick, report the publishers that is, which is quick and easy to do. Simply access the publisher's detail page by clicking on their name anywhere in the CJ interface. There you'll see a report publisher button under the publisher's name. For the report description, make sure you include what is the suspected offense and how you would like network quality to exist. That will create a ticket, and there you can keep an open line of communication with network quality until the case is resolved. And as part of this, to round out this section, I wanted to emphasize that quality is at the core of our global network, and network quality is hard at work behind the scenes to ensure your investment is protected. CJ has some of the most stringent network policies in the industry. For programs migrating to CJ from other platforms, on average, 9% of existing publishers have been completely removed from the CJ network for violations, making up an average of 5% in ad spend. By removing those non-compliant publishers from the program, we actually free up that investment, making it available to publishers that are driving high value conversions. And then if on top of this, you're keeping a close eye on your own program and reporting any suspicious activity, well, then you can feel pretty good about knowing your program is in a really safe place. And that brings us to our fifth and final area for you to innovate your program this year, and that is through operational efficiencies. Everything I have covered so far are opportunities and areas for you to grow and optimize your program, but I realize these also require your time and resources. So you may be sitting there asking yourself, this is all great, but how am I going to find time to do all this? And well, that's why we wanted to end with a section on where you should not be spending your time and make you aware of kind of the available solutions to create efficiencies and best practices for time savings. So first up, let's talk a little bit about links and creative management. Links are obviously a critical piece of affiliate marketing, but that does not mean it's somewhere you should be spending a lot of time. On the tools and solutions front, we have some excellent opportunities to help you save time. The first and most obvious one is that you can both upload and update your links in bulk. If your program has a long list of links, then make sure you're using this tool. You'll find detailed documentation on and how-tos for this in the support center. Secondly, make sure you have deep linking enabled for your program. Deep linking allows publishers to direct link to subpages of your site, such as specific product pages. For content publishers who do product reviews, this is absolutely critical. And deep links can also help improve conversion rate by putting customers even closer to the conversion stage rather than having to navigate their way from your main page. We also recommend accepting coupon feed publishers into your program. The two main ones are Formita Coupon and Coupilia. These coupon feeds help publishers automatically populate links on their site and are particularly popular among deal and loyalty sites. To work with them, all you have to do is add them to your program, push them an offer through CJ like you would with any other publisher, and they do not take any commission. The only reason you have to join them to your program is so they can access your links and put those in your feed, so the other publishers that are in your program can use that feed to automatically populate their site. On the best practices front, the most critical piece is to focus on the creative that's actually being used successfully. I'll often see advertisers that have maybe 100 links in their program, and then you look at link reporting and you notice that only 10 of them are actually being hosted by publishers. So this is an area where you definitely want to focus on quality over quantity. And just, since we have a wide variety of advertisers attending this webinar, I don't want to generalize too much on the types of links you should upload. But one thing to keep in mind is that many publishers manually update the links on their site. That means that it takes time for them to make updates. And if you are uploading limited time links, promotions, short term promotions, they might not always make the cut. So make sure you have a good selection of evergreen links and focus on longer term promotions whenever possible. And then lastly, as a best practice, and this is pretty unique to affiliate, give your publishers creative freedom. Publishers know their customer best and have the same goal as you. They want to drive the most conversions. So they're going to put out content that will do that exactly. So in a sense, affiliate is a personalized channel by default because publishers are providing content they know will resonate with their readers. And of course, every business is different, and some industries like finance have strict regulations that you need to ensure your publishers are complying with. I'm not arguing with that. The point I'm making is that you shouldn't make it stricter than it has to be. If your business model allows for giving publishers creative freedom, then that is how you'll see the strongest result, and time savings there will just be an added bonus. Moving over to some communication efficiencies. Affiliate is a relationship channel, and communication with your publishers on a regular basis is key. If you have attended our webinars in the past, you've likely heard us stress the importance of personalized one-on-one communication. And let me be very clear before I talk about our newsletter tool is one-to-one communication is extremely important. But of course, there is also a time and place for mass communication and saving time by utilizing that. And that's where the CJ newsletter tool comes into play. You can save time by messaging all your publishers at once for any program-wide updates. Again, if you have any question on how to use this tool, then you can find detailed information on that in the support center. And another efficiency tool we offer is publisher groups, which makes it easy to only work with specific segments of your publishers. For example, when running reports, pushing program terms, and sending newsletter campaigns. You can group your publishers any way that makes sense for you, and one publisher can be joined to several different groups. I think spending a little bit of time grouping your publishers in the short term will help save you a lot of time in the long term. From a technical and integration standpoint, there are also many solutions that help drive efficiency. We already talked about our vertical parameters and how they can create efficiencies for you, both from a time perspective, but also from an investment perspective, of course. And we also highly recommend an unconditional integration to ensure you are eligible for all our current and upcoming solutions. We recently launched new integration plugins for advertisers that use Shopify or Magento as their e-commerce platform. This is a quick integration that future-proofs your tracking. If any updates are needed in the future, then those can be completed by CJ through the plugin. No need for further complicated tickets and getting your tech team involved in that way. If you are a Shopify or Magento user and you have yet to integrate the plugin, then make sure you submit a ticket in the support center immediately. On the data transfer front, we offer both APIs and SFTP solutions depending on the type of data. We talked about the importance of corrections earlier, and to make your life easier, I highly recommend setting up an SFTP subscription to pass those corrections. To learn more about all our data transfer solutions, check out the developer portal that is linked right there. And make sure you share that link with your tech team. Even if you're not currently working on a technical setup, I'd recommend sharing the link with your tech team so they have that on hand. Next time there's something going on with your SFTP subscription or API, you might not even have to get involved because they know where they need to go for assistance, which is the developer portal. So. And as the very last thing I'll cover in today's webinar is reporting efficiencies. And there's really only one thing you need to know about here, and that is the CJ Insights platform, which you can access through the Insights button at the top hand bar of the interface. So Insights was designed specifically to take all the heavy lifting out of program reporting and analysis by allowing you to dive into period over period reporting across all the most important metrics at the click of a button. No more downloading reports and manipulating the data in Excel, and all that is already done for you. All you have to do is log on to review and then spend your time acting on the data instead. To help you get familiar, we actually had a full Insights demo webinar a while back, and you can find a link to that as well in the resources handout. And yeah, this brings us to the end, and that was a lot. I'm sure you're thinking of sitting there thinking, now what? So as a next step, we recommend you review your checklist, download the handout resources to dive deeper, and do that right now because once the webinar ends, that handout section will disappear. And then prioritize the top opportunities for your program and get to work. And of course, if you have any questions on anything, then reach out to us. And that's what we had for you today. We hope you found the webinar valuable and easy to follow along. Hopefully, you now have some ideas for how you can enhance your affiliate program this year. To anyone that asked questions through the GoToWebinar interface, thank you. We promise we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please just be patient with us, but you will get your question answered. And lastly, before I go, and once I end the presentation here, there will be a quick survey. We would really appreciate your feedback. Just stay on, and that should appear. It only takes 2 minutes, and it'll make our future webinars even better for you. Thanks again, and hope to see you all in our next webinar.